Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home.
Today we are going to fuel up this Ritepoint table lighter. These Ritepoints are really marked with a lot of detail. It says Ritepoint Company, St. Louis, Missouri, Sylvester something, Ritepoint lighter, Pat's pending, Miller lighter, which was marked on the pocket model as well. And I wish I could read what that says. Sylvester somebody president. Cool. So, first things first, my main concern with this lighter is I don't have any confidence that it's actually going to hold fuel. It looks to me, when you look down here on the bottom, which I was not able to see on the listing photos because there were none in that great of detail, but there are cracks in the loose side or whatever this plastic material is. So we're not going to overfill it. Put enough in there to see whether it leaks out those cracks, and then if it doesn't, whether or not it will allow fuel up into the upper chamber, and whether or not the lighter will work. So our bottle of Roncinol, and we're just going to squirt it straight down that big hole. And that should be enough to determine whether or not there is still an O-ring on that fill screw, so that should keep it from dripping down out of the threads anyway. That tightened up. That is snug. And turn it over. Can definitely feel the coldness of the fuel when I turned it over, but it does not appear as though it is leaking fuel. So maybe a good sign. Maybe the lighter will hold fuel anyway. And maybe, just maybe, it'll work for us. So let's pull our Flint mechanism. Get a Flint installed in there. Generic eBay Flint. Straight down the tube. Flint spring and screw to follow it. And good spark, grooved in the right direction. Get that tightened on down. Make sure we got it the right direction in there. And straight. And the pocket model, we filled it up by removing this collar or shaft. It was threaded in there and obviously meant to be removed. This one, there is no slot. So we definitely got good spark, but no fuel in that upper chamber yet. And still no fuel on my hands. Doesn't appear as though anything down here is leaking. That's a good sign. Just like the pocket model, the first time that I pressed this button, it was very stiff. I do not know the mechanics of this mechanism. Can't really see it here on this table model. We'll go ahead and depress here and turn the lighter over. See some air bubbles there, which is exactly what we want to see. And then when it stops, that should be full. Now, I really expected these lighters just to leak all over the place, and neither one of them, the table or the pocket model, have leaked. So that's good. Maybe they're not as prone to it as the Scripto views, or maybe today is just a blessed day. And light right up. So whereas the pocket model we couldn't get to light at all, we jump started it a few times off another lighter. That one lighted up the very first time. So we're going to try to pull this up a little bit. I'm not going to cut on this wick or anything like that. There we go. Give us plenty of length on that. The Ritepoint is the oldest view lighter. It was mentioned in the 1954 lighter repair manual as at that time being unique for its visible fuel, well, tank, whatever you want to call it. It was the only lighter at that point where you could visibly see the supply of fuel. Cool advertising with the truck for nickels, trailer, and equipment. I think the view lighters with the upper chamber like that, they might be a little bit more prone to run out of fumes quickly, as we just lit that and then had the lid open and it didn't want to light where it had lit the first two times. That if we close it, let the fumes repopulate, and obviously that wick is maybe a problem. Should not glow like that, but it's also possible that we have run out our fuel supply here. So let's just see what happens when we depress the button to allow more fuel into that upper chamber. Yeah, a bubble or two. So I doubt if we've used enough fuel that this lighter is fuel starved to where it should have caused that wick to act like it just did. And that is a big old flame right there for it to just peter out like it is. So perhaps we will have to replace the wick in here. Had the glowing going again there. But overall, I'm very happy with our project here so far. We've got two of them that we have filled up. Neither one of them leaked fuel. This one didn't light at all. Spark looks a little weak compared to the other one as well. This one lit, just burning kind of out of control and then waning way too fast, as you can see. So just out of curiosity real quick, let's pull the mechanism out of this table model. It seems to be sparking better, and put it in the pocket model and see if that one will light any better, or light at all. Lights right up. So it looks like the wick isn't necessarily the problem in this one, at least to this point. It does look exactly like the other wick, and it also looks like it's going to wane and turn into a glowing ember like the other one did. So we probably need to replace these wicks. And it looks like this other sparking mechanism is going to need a little bit of work. I don't know whether the tension isn't just quite enough, or maybe the wheel needs to be cleaned. But you saw with this one in there, it lights right up. We struck it many times with the other one, and it didn't light at all. So that looks to me like it's a problem with our spark. Well, maybe not. Maybe that was just the vapor lock calming down. Anyway, our project continues. You see the Ritepoint box in the back there. That is courtesy of our buddy Bill Calkins, who saw me unbox this lighter and thought that the box belonged with the lighter, and I appreciate that. Definitely adds some nostalgia, some authenticity, and I'm really intrigued getting into these lighters and seeing that they may not leak fuel as bad as I had worried that they might. Not only that, but with this good spark wheel on them, lighting very dependably. Until next time.